Good morning. We are live. Good morning, students. Good morning, colleagues. Welcome to this session of MyModules, MyUnisa, where we are going to capacitate you on how to navigate the platforms. Before we start with the program, I just want to introduce the colleagues that I'm with. Some of them are going to be assisting, answering your questions behind the scenes on the chats and on the Q&A. Please make sure that you post your questions. You can even start by greeting the colleagues. We do have Aaron Lazarus is one of our colleagues who is an expert when it comes to IRIS for the exam. So even though today we are not doing exams, we are going to assist you on how to upload on your assignments and make sure that you understand what type of assignments or assessments your modules are going to be having. We have Dr. Denzel Chetty, is the program leader of this ADOF, which is behind supporting you in your studies as well as your exams. And we do have David Hapstad. David is also one of the presenters who will be taking you through some of the content of today. And we have Ingrid. Ingrid is one of our specialists in academic integrity. We believe that you don't have to hear about academic integrity during exams. You should start now with your teaching and learning activities as well as your assessment. We do have Rampe Lucas. Lucas is one of our regional staff members. When you go to the regions near you, you get the DLAs in the region and other support staff that can support you with whatever problem you are having. Today, we'll be also talking about Microsoft 365. Some of you might still struggle to log into Microsoft 365. You can visit the regions for support and you'll have colleagues such as Lucas. Lucas is stationed in Gauteng, but we do have other regional centers across the country. We have our colleague, Dr. Pinagase Tsepe. Dr. Tsepe is a specialist in CPD, which is Center for Professional Development, and is also part of this project. He will be answering some of your questions behind the scenes. And lastly, we have Richard Wright. Richard is one of the presenters that will start with our agenda to show you basic skills in navigating. Can we maybe just give them a round of applause? I know we won't hear, but we can have that online round of applause for our colleagues, and I can be able to see the round of applause to the colleagues who are on the presenter stage right now. Let's stop the jealousy. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, so students and colleagues, we are going to start with the pre-assessment survey. There's a link that I believe my colleague Richard has posted already in the chat. Just check it out and click on the chat for the pre-assessment survey. The reason why we want you to complete this pre-assessment survey is because we want to know where you are, what are your levels, so that we support you relevantly. So please complete this pre-assessment survey quickly, and we will be able to know where are your challenges and where we should support you. Richard, I hope you are ready. I'm going to hand over to you right now to proceed with the presentation. Over to you, Richard. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sheila. Let me also just switch on my camera. So, good morning, students. My name is Richard Wright. I'm from the ADOVH team, currently at the Educational Technologist, and I will be guiding you through today's session. I'm just going to be switching off my camera so we do save a little bit of data for those people that do need as data limitations. So I just also want to state the main focus of this session is to focus more on the technical side, getting you started with MyUnisa, MyModules, and MyLife. But unfortunately, we won't be able to assist you with any student admin related queries, but we will show you the channels that you need to follow if you have any student admin related queries regarding your registration. In the So this is a live session, so there's not a chat, but there is a Q&A. At the top of your screen, it's usually at the top right, you should have this little icon over here. Let me just get my pointer. You should have an icon over here, and then you will be able to see the Q&A. So I would just like you to click the thumbs up, for instance, the first one, just to make sure that the Q&A is functioning. Or just say hello to us in the chat so that we can publish it through to you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to get started with MyUnisa first. So you might know there's various platforms at the university, but MyUnisa is the primary student portal. So you might have heard the terms already, you know, MyUnisa, MyLife, you might still be a little bit uncertain of what does these terms mean. So MyUnisa is the official student portal for study-related information. So this is the portal you access once you have registered. This is where you access the learning management system, MyModules, and also the administrative portal, MyAdmin. You can also link from here directly to MyLife, but MyLife is your official email account. So once you have claimed your MyUnisa password, you will be able to use this password to access your MyLife email. And then from then on, any correspondence you do with the university, you have to do with your MyLife email account. So just note your MyLife email usually takes about 24 hours to activate after you claimed your MyUnisa password. And it's generally your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. So how do you actually access MyUnisa? So you're probably familiar already with the UNISA website. This is where you came to apply and to register. So now that you are registered, now you can go and click on the MyUnisa link. So it's at the top right, but there is also an icon on the page that you can click on. So the first thing you do when you land on this page, the first time you access it, you will need to claim your MyUnisa password. So remember, it's not your own password will be generated for you. So this will enable you to log into this portal. So what you need to do at the top, there's a Claim UNISA Login. You click on Claim UNISA Login. You will need to insert your student number. So that is, remember, if you newly applied and registered, that will be your reference number. So always that number will stay with you with all your studies at UNISA. So you just insert your student number, click on Continue. Now, when you insert this next field, so this is for verification that it is actually you claiming this password. You need to insert your surname, full name, date of birth, identification number. Just make sure when you enter it here, it must be exactly the same as what you entered when you registered. Because if you, for instance, say you've got multiple names and now you swap them around, it will actually pick up and say it's not you. You have to insert it as you insert all the information with your registration. And the final stage, you just have to tick all the boxes to acknowledge that you accept all the terms and conditions. Once you click all the boxes, you will then be able to click on the acknowledge button. This will give you your initial password. So you will see this password looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually very simple. So usually it consists of 3 lowercase letters, 2 numbers, and 3 uppercase letters. So just make sure when you do insert this password for the first time that, for instance, say you've got a that looks like a L, is not perhaps an uppercase I. So just make sure it usually follows this pattern. And here at the top, it will also already show you your MyLife email address as well. So please keep this information safe and secure because you will need to use this not just to access MyUnisa, but also your MyLife email. So once you have claimed your password, you are ready to sign in. So just note at the username at the top, you insert your student number. So remember, this is not your name. This is just your student number, and it's also not your MyLife email address. So with this one, you only use your student number, and then you insert your password. So that's the password that was provided to you, so that you can then click on login. So say you do forget your password, there is a way for you to retrieve your forgotten password, but just note this password will be sent via SMS text message. So make sure always on MyUnisa, especially under MyAdmin, that your biographical information and your contact numbers are up to date, because we get it a lot of times when you go through the procedure, forgotten UNISA password, and just to realize, but it's an old mobile number that it's sending to, and that means you'll have to go through a student admin first to get your credentials updated. So, but if you forgot your password, at the top there is the forgotten UNISA password option. Then you basically follow the exact same steps as you did in the previous activity where you claimed your UNISA password, and the new password will then be sent to you. So once you log into MyUnisa, you will notice there's 3 portals at the top. So just note this one, MyModules 2022 is now just MyModules, but you will still perhaps see the MyModules 2021 and MyAdmin. So let's just have a look. What is the difference between these portals? Because they are the most important way of accessing the learning management systems. So we get MyModules will be the first button. So that will be the button over here. MyModules 2021 will be the middle one. And then finally, MyAdmin. So MyModules is the official student portal for students where you can access your module resources, submit assignments, interact with other students, and with your e-tutors or groups. Now, so primarily, this is where you're going to access all the information for your course. All your modules will be listed there. All the support sites will be listed on here. This is the official learning management system, and that's MyModules. So the new one is the new upgraded learning management system. Well, if you look at the 2021 one, that was the previous learning management system that will still be removed. So make sure as a new student, you will always use MyModules. Then also very importantly is the MyAdmin portal. So this is for administrative tasks, such as updating your personal information, academic records, all of that will be retrieved from there. So some of the tools that's available on the MyAdmin portal, you can, for instance, get your academic record. You can update your biographical details. You can also change your MyUnisa MyLife password. You can edit your registration during registration periods when it is still open for editing. You can get your financial details, what is still outstanding. If there is any study material that's sent to you, you can track it through the parcel tracking, and then you can also get study fee quotations for any additional modules. But also very importantly is the assignments and exam information. So under the assignments tool or assessments tool, you will be able to view your results, and this is where you can actually. This is the official platform where you need to get your assignment results. So even though they on MyModules, you are able to, for instance, see your grades, the official grades that you receive for your assignments after moderation, all of that is on MyAdmin portal. And then as always, you can also get your examination results and examination timetable as well. Now, I just want to emphasize here the examination timetable. I usually do release it quite early, but it's better to access the examination timetables closer to your exam, because that is where sometimes they do make changes to accommodate clashing modules. So remember, even though if you go in there is perhaps the examination timetable already available, only access it once closer to the examination. So on the MyAdmin portal, you can also change your password. So all you have to do is click on MyAdmin password, change password, and you then have to insert your old password and then a new password and just confirm the new password. Now, just to note here, if you're going to change your password, so just remember this password will then change for your MyUnisa login and your MyLife password. And just note here, if you click the submit button, make sure you only click it once. Sometimes it does take time to load, so you just click it once and then wait for this little green tick box at the top to confirm that it has gone through. We see it a lot of times in the labs where students click it and then they click it again, and then suddenly it says incorrect password because the password was changed, but then you inserted your old password and that's not the one that you inserted previously. So then it has actually changed, and it can get confusing then which one is the latest one. Okay, so before we go over to my modules, I'm just going to give you a quick demo. Okay, so as we said, you can go to unisa.ac.za. At the top, you can click on the MyUnisa icon, or you can click on the MyUnisa link. So the first time when you arrive here, you need to claim your UNISA login. If you've forgotten your UNISA password, you can reset your password here. But at the top, you will basically insert your student number and then your MyUnisa password that you retrieved. Just have to type it in correctly. So once you're logged in, you'll notice these portals here at the top. So as we mentioned, there's the MyModules 2021, and MyAdmin. So you will only be using MyModules and MyAdmin. So I'm just quickly going to show you on MyAdmin. So as we mentioned, here's all the administrative related tools. So for instance, your academic records, biographical details, track your study material, student finance, pay any additional study fees, assessment admin. Very importantly, this is where you will see your final results for your all the assignments you did. So remember, once the results are officially released, it will be on MyAdmin and not on MyModules. And then as always, you can change your password. But as we mentioned, when you click the submit button, just click it once, else you might confuse the system onto what is your latest password. With that, I will hand over to Sheila for the next section on MyModules.
Thank you so much, Richard. Students, we are encouraging you to type your questions in the chats or your comments in the chats. We really want to know if so far you are following. Please type in the chats to tell us if you are following and if you have any questions regarding the session that Richard has just presented. Let's hear your views in the chats. And please remember, we are going to have a blast session wherein you'll be able to open your microphones and talk to us. For today, we are presenting to you, and if you have any questions, please write in the Q&A. If you can't see Q&A, just check on the top of your screen. If you are using a cell phone, click on the 3 dots, and then you will see Q&A and start typing. Okay. So, David, thank you so much for showing your video. This is David, colleagues and students. David, please take the students through your presentation. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dr. S, Dr. Sheila, and welcome, students. Thank you for joining us. I've just switched my camera on so you can see it's me. I'm not an AI robot. So yes, so you're dealing with real people over here. Okay, so I'm going to be covering my modules, and there's quite a few other topics we're going to do. So yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, so when you are registered now with UNISA, all right, you're going to register your modules, and On the student side, they register the modules on your profile. And when you join MyUnisa, you will see that your module codes are already there. So how the module code works is you've got basically a module code itself. Then you've got the year, and then you've got the semester or the year module. So S1 is for first semester, S2 is for second semester, and Y is for your year module. Okay, so then at least you know, okay, I've got this information. Most of the information is already uploaded, your tutorial letters, and we're going to jump in and have a look at all these things as we go along, so don't panic. Okay, so this is basically what your lecture then will set up for you. And then, yes, some of the material you can start doing, your assignments you're going to submit. You can find your tutorial letters, previous exam papers. So that's pretty much what you find in an official site. Okay, so from registration, automatically they put it in for you. Then we've got tutor sites. So as you go into the semester, it might not be there immediately, so just be patient, but do check the modules announcements, because I'm sure they will post about tutor sites. So what you can then do is once you're grouped, depending on what module you'll do, you'll notice they always add in a few extra codes. So the module code looks pretty much exactly the same as this one, but the difference is you'll just find there's some little extra numbers and a letter at the end indicating a tutor site. And this is where you're going to communicate with your e-tutor, with the other students in your group. And again, you will need to check the announcements and the activities to see what things you need to be doing there with other students. Now, that depends on your module, but they will communicate with you once it's available. Okay, normally you get an SMS. Then we've got a few other types of modules. We call them signature modules. So each college has got one, which is basically a fully online course. And how this one works is, for example, here we're using EUP. You are divided into groups all over the country, and there's certain activities and tasks that you need to do in a group format. So there's a discussion forum, you're going to post questions, you're going to reply to other students, so it's very much interactive. Now, these signature modules work very differently from the first two that you've seen. You will be registered, right? You will find an EUP 1501 23S1. But in the official site, there's very, very limited information. You'll get your tutorial letter, you'll get a welcoming, and maybe an announcement from the lecture. When you get an SMS or a notification that you're now grouped, then you can actually begin the module. So what happens is the lecture is actually grouping you. So nothing you have to do, don't have to panic. You just wait for the grouping to happen. And once you're grouped, then you can kick off and you're going to start with the module. So do read the tutorial 101 that they do give to you and make sure that you understand when you're grouped, how does it work? That's very important with all the signature modules. So just take very special care if you're dealing with any of the signature modules. But please start with the tutorial 101 and we will still show you where to find that. Right, so once you've logged in, like Richard showed you, he showed you My Admin. So if you click on My Modules, it's going to open and it looks something like this. Just take note, this little chap here on the left-hand side, little dashboard, if you click on it, this menu here will disappear or reappear. So every time you click, it's on and off, then this will appear, and then you'll see the screen sort of adjusts itself. So this is basically how it looks. On top, you've got your modules by admin. You should see your profile and hopefully your profile pic. If you haven't done it today, today is a good day to do it, and we will show you how to do that. Then you've got navigation on your left, you've got your banner area or the main content area in the middle, and then on the right side, you should have some sort of calendar there. So this is basically what you would see. When you click on My Modules, you'll see they give you all the different options. So this is where you will see your modules all registered already. If you click on Dashboard, it will take you back to the very first one that you were looking at. Okay, so there's your module code. Then on the right-hand side, there you'll see some very important information like your profile, your grades, messages, preferences, and of course, very importantly, your logout. Right, so let's have a look at your profile. So if I click on it, it'll give me an option. I click on profile. Confirm your MyLife email address. Remember, it's your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. So that's very, very important. So make sure your student number there is correct. You should see edit profile. If you see edit profile, that means you are under My Modules and you can then upload your picture. So all you're going to do is you click on Edit Profile, you'll go to your device, you'll click on Upload, you'll find a beautiful picture of yourself. This guy is very happy to be at university. So yes, put a nice picture in there. But ladies, please don't put up too much makeup and hairdos and things, okay? Try to keep it a nice, simple picture, guys, because it will be used for my exams, which we will explain a little bit later. Then, of course, they do give you a file size and how many files you can upload. Because it's a picture, you only get one file, and 50 megabytes should be more than enough for a good quality picture. Don't worry about the steps. We are going to give you the detailed steps and how to access those detailed steps. So for now, I'm just going to give you the overview. All right, and just take note of the type of image file that the system will allow. So once you've uploaded your profile picture, it's going to pop up over here immediately. Then under grades, as Richard did explain, and under My Admin, you can see the results. But under grades here, you can also see your module. And you can also see some information there as well. So just take note of where to submit. It's going to be under My Modules, but your results are going to be under My Admin. So that's how it's different from last year. When you have a look at your calendar, basically it will tell you all the things that are coming up. This student was very, very lucky because I see he's only got one thing there and one thing over there, and the rest of May is pretty empty. I would be assuming there might be exams coming in here somewhere. So yes, your calendar just allows you to plan ahead to make sure that you've got a plan of action for everything that you need to do. So you don't. All right, so fine. So that's basically everything that sits under your profile. When you select any of the modules, okay, for example, yeah, we had one for COVID, just to remind us of this nightmare. So when we click on it, you'll see it's got a menu over here on the left-hand side, lots of links inside of it, so it's very important. Then in the middle, you've got a welcoming page. And then again on the right side, for example, this one's got course progress, and it's got a whole bunch of things that you would be tackling through the semester as an example. So once the module site opens, you normally will find it is a welcoming page. This is another example. And now you can see down here, there's a whole bunch of information there. You can see assignments, you can see quizzes, announcements, tutorial letters. So you can see here's the gold mine, plenty of information that we need to be able to find. So this is the lectures official site for the module. So each module, you're going to have to come and check all these different elements over here and to make sure that for each module you're up to date. So it's quite a lot of information sitting in this menu. Please take note, you've also got this little menu here at the bottom, and very small, but there it is. There's a little arrow pointing down, looks like that. If you click on it, more options will appear, so just take note of that. But we'll show you in the demo in a few minutes, then you'll see how it works. But just take note of that little guy. Prescribed materials. So this is where you can get the books that you need to buy, if you need to buy. Not every course requires you to buy. Some of them are recommended books for additional reading. Prescribed books are those textbooks that you need to get. They're not always available at the campus library if you have one near you. So some of these you do need to purchase. But inside your tutorial 101, they pretty much tell you everything that you need to buy, if indeed you do. Some modules only have a study guide, which is pretty much the only book that you're going to use, textbook. So you don't need to buy anything for that specific module. So you're going to have to read your tutorial 101 very, very carefully and make sure, what do I need to get and where can I get it? All right, so they do give you all the contact information in the tutorial 101. Official study material. Okay, so this one's also very important. This is where you're going to find your tutorial 101 and your study guides and pretty much your past exam papers. But these ones do get uploaded a little bit later in the semester. So don't panic if you go and you don't see them yet. Just give it some time, because we want you to focus on the course first before you start preparing for exams, and not the other way around. So yeah, so official study material, this is what you're going to find. Announcements. Okay, so every now and then, at least once a week, please go check the announcements for your module to see what's happening. This is the communication from your lecturer. So it's very important so that you understand what's going on. And of course, if there are any changes or new documents or tutorial letters that have been uploaded or videos, you never know. So please check your announcements every week. Now, the question you guys I know will be asking is, okay, how does the assessments work or assignments work? Now, there's quite a few of them. We've got the online assessment, what's called a quiz activity. It's multiple choice, so pretty much it looks something like this, the interface, and then when you start the attempt, it'll open and it looks something like this. Don't panic, we do have a demo site where you can actually go and have a look at this and practice it and just have a feel how the tool works, and that demo is coming up shortly. So for now, I'm just going to give you an overview. The other type of assignment is a written assignment. Okay, so you type it up in Microsoft Word, you'll save it as a PDF, and then you will come and upload your assignment. So it's very similar to the picture upload that you've just done or would have done today, hopefully. So it's very much the same process. The only difference now is you're selecting your assignment. So just take note of the naming convention of a PDF. So maybe have your course code, the assignment number, and maybe your student number as well. So it just makes it easy for you to manage all your assignments that you're going to do and keeping your evidence. There are limits again and how many files. So just take note of those two little guys. The other activity that you're going to find is your forum activity, especially with the online modules. The signature ones I referred to. So here you will click on a new discussion topic, for example, or if it's one that already exists, okay, so they will give you the instruction to say what you need to do. Either a new one, you use this, or you reply to one that already exists. In other words, the lecturer or the teaching assistant or the e-tutor has submitted something and then you need to reply to it. And how that works is when you click on reply, you'll be able to type a response and then you will be able to post. If in the event they say to you, okay, in your reply, please upload maybe a study plan or something on those lines, you never know, whatever it may be, then you click on advanced and then you'll go upload your file that will be attached. And again, yes, we've got a demo for you, so you guys can go practice this. But now, as I said, we're just going to have a quick overview. All right, so they're quite flexible, your forum activities. Okay, then we got to the MyModules site, and I'm going to hand back over to Richard, which is going to then show you guys now how the MyModules guide works. So this is going to be like the most important resource that you can get onto today, because all the things that we are covering are actually sitting right here with detailed steps and videos that will make your life a lot easier. Back to you, Doc S.
Thank you so much, David. Colleagues, students, I'm worried because I don't see any input or question or comment from you students. Can maybe we just get something from you to say you are still on the right track? Let's see if you are still on the right track. Even if you don't have a question, just type in the Q&A to let us know that we are still on the right track. We are afraid to just go on and on. Maybe we don't know we have lost you. Please type in the Q&A to show us we are still together. Before I hand over to Richard to take you through accessing the MyModules online guide. Students, are you here? Are you with us? Okay, let's hope they will come back shortly. Richard, please take them through accessing the MyModules online guide. This is the guide that is going to really help you when you forget in the middle of the year how to access anything, either a forum, either a quiz, assignment. You will always be able to go to this guide to assist you. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Sheila. So very importantly, please take your phone. You can take a picture of the QR code or you can write down the URL at the bottom. We also put the URL in the chat, so you will be able to quickly access the pages from there. So just note the first time you're going to access this guide, it's going to ask you to just enroll. if you have not been added to the site already. So there will be a little button, Enroll Me, and then once you've clicked that, it will appear at the top of your MyModules drop-down menu. So what we're going to do now, before we're going to show you exactly the pages, I'm just going to do a demo just for everything that David just showed you. So we're just going to show you, for instance, how do you view MyModules, your student profile, your calendar, the module contents. We can even how to submit an assignment, and also how to do a forum reply. So let me quickly open up my screen over here. So this is where we left off the last time. So the next step, what we're going to do is now we logged into MyUnisa. Now we're going to click on MyModules. So this is the landing page for MyModules. You'll notice at the left, there is a menu where you can quickly access your calendar, preferences, and any contact us information. But this is considered your dashboard. And you can see this is the main section. It generally consists, or all pages generally consist of 3 aspects. So you've got this left navigation bar, the main content area, and then what we call blocks on the right-hand side. And these blocks, you can actually customize the page to add more blocks, your own blocks, to keep track of your studies or perhaps the sites that you are added to. So make sure that you do, but before you do this, first become comfortable with how everything works, because you might remove a block that you added or made some mistake, and then you don't know how to remove it. So first get comfortable with the platform before you do any customizations to the blocks. So at the top bar, I'm just going to show you here. So you've got the notifications. So if everybody sent you a message or there's any notifications that you need to be aware of, it will appear on this one. There's also a direct chat. So you can, for instance, write to somebody that's in your modules or your module lecturer through the direct messaging tool. Your module leader or your lecturer might also add you to groups for group work. So then you can communicate with your group directly from here as well. But mainly this will be done on the forums tools. And very importantly, at the top, it should display your name and then your user picture. And if you click on this, it will give you the drop down where you can also access your profile, grades, messages, preferences, and also log out of the system. So let's just quickly have a look. Firstly, at the calendar. So the calendar will indicate to you when assessments are due. So it gives you a good overview, especially if you love planning ahead your study. Then you can see, okay, I've got an assessment due, for instance, the 6th of February, 6th of March, the 17th of March. So you can really use this to plan ahead and make sure that you keep abreast with everything that you need to submit. Then the second one we're going to have a look at is the profile. So the profile will give you an overview of the courses that you enrolled in. But very importantly on this one is the user picture. So if you click on Edit Profile on this one, if you scroll down, there's a user picture section. So as we saw with David, it's now a requirement to have a profile picture. So you can upload a picture from here to this page. And I'll go through the guide as well again, just to show you how you actually upload this picture. So if we continue with the menu, the big button over here is My Modules. So this is how you access all your modules. Very importantly, by default, your modules will not display in the block on the like mine. I've customized my page to add all my courses, but you need to click on this My Modules button at the top to actually give a drop down of all the courses you've got access to. So if we look at these courses, it's available, for instance, here. You can see there's a module course 26101, and it's a 23 to indicate it's 2023, and also a Y to indicate it's a year module. So you'll see the difference with this one. So it's also the course module code followed by the year, and an S1 to indicate this is semester 1. So if you've got some that indicates S2, then you do know that is only for your second semester. If I open up one of these courses, the modules. So generally you have this left navigation where you can view, for instance, your grades. Just note some modules do not activate the grades on here. And remember that always your final grades will be on the student admin, my admin portal. But here's a good way to just see what is it that needs to be done to achieve, all the activities that needs to be completed on the site. Just going to go back here quick. So the second one on this menu that's also important is the prescribed material. Not all courses have prescribed material, but if you have any prescribed material, it will list the books that you need to purchase there. And then the other one is official study material. And I really want to emphasize this. With any module that you start, always start with tutorial letter 101. This tutorial letter indicates to you exactly how is this course going to work. So it doesn't matter which year you are, how many courses you have, the first thing you go download is this tutorial letter 101. So if you go through tutorial letter 101, it will introduce you to your lecturers, how the course is structured, any resources such as prescribed books or recommended books that they recommend, and also the assessments. How is the assessment going to work for this course? So here you can give a good overview of what are the assignments, assessments that you are going to have to do to pass this course, and what is the type of assessments that will be done. So just remember, always first thing, official study material, tutorial letter 101. So if we go back to our course, you'll notice the menus on here, the rest of the menus don't always link up, or how can I say, it's easy navigatable. So I would recommend, if you navigate the course, do it on the main page. But just look out for this one at the bottom. There's a little icon here. Let me see if I can enlarge it for you. So here is a little button on the screen that you might miss. And sometimes this will reveal all the learning units that's available on this page. So just note, if you only see 3 icons here, click on this little button over here. So you'll notice you will have the announcements. Very important to check the announcements. This is generally where your lecturer will give you advice on assignments, what needs to be done, if there's any changes to the course. So do look out for the announcements. The announcements do go through to your email as well, but there is sometimes quite a bit of a delay to it. So just rather when you get to the course, just make sure on the announcements there's nothing that you missed. And then generally the academics also upload additional resources. So this is any additional resources that you can download that supports the material that you are studying. And then you will see, for instance, here is the different learning units and content for this specific course. So I just also want to show you this other course that we've got here. So you'll see this one is exactly the same as this module over here, but it's got an E at the back. So this means it's my eTutor site. So this site is primarily to get assistance with your assignments, but they will guide you through the content. So please make use of these eTutor sites. They generally post window available. They have a forum available where you can go and introduce yourself. And then they will do, for instance, different topics. So really use these two eTutors that's assigned to you. It's usually about only 200 students per eTutor, so you will get a response from them very quickly. So finally, I'm just going to introduce you to my modules guide. So if you click on the link that's in the chat, the one that was on the presentation, this will open up the MyModules guide. So the first time you need to click on enroll, just to enroll yourself to the course. And I just want you to go through all the different tiles that's on here. So firstly, please start with the orientation. There is it will just give you a brief overview of how long it might take you to go through the course, what is covered. And also that if you complete all the activities, you will get your first badge that you are skilled in the basic skills or in using MyModules. It will tell you also the activities that you need to complete to achieve the badge. And there is also some introductory videos to MyModules as well. But please complete this pre-course assessment before you start the course so that we know your understanding before you enter. And at the end, there's also a post-course assessment, just so that we see the areas perhaps where you still need assistance so we can update the course material. In this webinar, we will also post the post-course assessment link a little bit later. So these pages, as we had through the presentation, all the material is on here. And as you can see, it's also has a short little video. So if you prefer short clips to view quickly how to do a specific task, you can just come and watch the videos at the bottom. But everything has been laid out step by step so that you can quickly get started with MyUnisa. Then I just want to, most importantly, just introduce to you the assessments. Oh, let's first do the student profile. So as you saw, you click on the button here at the top right, you click on a profile. From here, you then select edit profile. So we click on your name, profile, edit profile. You scroll down to the user picture section, you click on this file, and then you select the file from your device. So you just say choose file, upload this file, and then choose a picture. So remember, the picture should be clearly of your face because these pictures are used in the proctoring tools and the examinations, but upload it as soon as possible so that you know you don't have to worry later about the profile picture. And generally the best is to use a landscape picture or a picture that is quite square. Sometimes if the portrait, it gets flipped 90 degrees so that it looks like you're lying on your side. So then you can just crop it to make it more of a square, and then it will display better if you upload it again. So once you've uploaded a picture, just to go through the steps again, so you just edit profile, go to the user picture section, click on this icon here at the top, you browse your computer, and then you upload a picture, and then you have to just scroll all the way to the bottom and update profile, and then your new profile picture will be displayed at the top right. So just also very importantly, just quickly how to submit the assignments. We did cover all the other topics already. So remember, there is two different types of assessments generally. So the first one is MCQ, online quizzes, and then you get a written assignment that uses the assignments tool. So just be aware of these two different tools that are being used. But there might be additional types of assessments as well, such as forum posts, online activities. So make sure to read your tutorial later to see exactly which type of activities you are going to do. So let's quickly have a look at this one. So this, if you want to do an online quiz, there is a short video over here that will take you step by step through how to do an online quiz. But I'm actually going to step you through the steps on here so to make sure you've got it. So quizzes, if it's a quiz, you do know it's multiple choice. With this one, we actually already activated the Moodle proctoring, so you might not get this in your assignments, but you will get this in the exams if you are using you have an MCQ type of exam. Now, very importantly, as you saw, it popped up, it asked for allow for my camera. You have to grant this. Please do not deny the camera. And then how you do it quiz is basically you go to scroll down and will show attempt quiz. Because this is proctoring, I will just select I agree to the validation process and start attempt, and it will also give you the duration of the quiz that's going to be conducted. Seems like we ran into an error here. I think mine was deleted, unfortunately. Let's go here back to my modules. And let's go back to assessments. Okay. So I'm just going to show on here. I think the portal is giving an error at the moment. So if you scroll down, so basically we started here. We selected I agree with the validation process. I started the attempt. At the top right, you will see there's a quiz navigation, so I can go through different questions. But this also depends on how the quiz was set up. It might be that you can only do one question and before you can continue to the next one. From here, you just simply select the correct answer and then select next page. You follow this for all the pages or questions that's available. Once you have reached the end and you're done, you can click on finish attempt, or you can scroll, browse back to a previous question that you might submitted. So when you click on finish attempt, you have to click on the submit all and finish button. Make sure that you get this last pop-up, submit all and finish. Sometimes on smaller phones, this might be hard to see, so just scroll, zoom out a bit on your phone. Finally, you can just review your submission and then you can see that you have submitted, it was published correctly. So as we mentioned, so that is the quiz activity. Now the other one is the assignment activity. The assignments are generally written assessments. So if you get an assignment activity, you know it's going to be something that you have to type out. So it's just an essay that you need to submit. So generally you will open the assignment. It will give you all the information. What is the requirements? You will complete it in Microsoft Word, or you will use it on any of the software that you use to do your assignment. You might even be writing it out and then scanning it into a PDF file. So I'm just going to show you. So once you're done with your file, you saved it as a PDF. The best format to use is a PDF format, and I'll show you now why that is so important. So once you're here, you can just add submission for the first time. Now, once you're ready to add your submission, just take a note of a few things. This submission is my own work, so it's the acknowledgement. There's a maximum file size, for instance, 50 megabytes. So if your file is bigger than that, you'll need to compress it. And also the number of files. So this is limited to one file. And as you can see here, accepted file types is PDF document. So a lot of your assignments might only accept PDF documents. So rather get into the habit of saving your assignments to PDF from the start. So what I'm going to do is just click on this file icon over here, select a file. So I'm just going to select this one. Example PDF file, upload this file. Cannot create file. Ooh, the system is really giving us problems today. Okay, doesn't want to work now for some reason. So I'm just going to go back here. Just to show you on this one exactly how does this work. So once you selected your file, it will show here at the bottom, and then you can select Save Changes, and you will get this confirmation. Now, very importantly, you'll notice there's a link here of the file that has been submitted. So click on that link, open it up. You're not gonna, how can I say, accidentally remove it or anything. That is just to make sure that you uploaded the correct file. A lot of times when you do your assignments and you're ready to submit, you might accidentally select the wrong file. So click on the link on this file once you submit it for grading to make sure that it is the correct one. If the assignment is, for instance, actually, say the incorrect file, or you spotted a mistake and you're still within the upload time, you can go down and edit submission, and then you can delete the existing file and then resubmit the file. And as always, there's a video at the bottom as well that will quickly guide you through the steps of how to do that. So the last one I just want to show you is the forum. Let's just quickly find it now. So a forum, generally forums are used for discussions. So how it generally works is you add a topic or a new discussion topic, or you reply to an existing topic. So think of it really as WhatsApp. It's just a thread on which you do formal conversations. So just note when you open this, it will give you this text box, but sometimes, and you can only insert text here, but sometimes you do need to insert, for instance, pictures or links. Then you need to click on this advanced button. So make sure that you've got access to just know about this advanced button, especially if it's a long like assessment that you have to do, where you have to do referencing and all that. And it's a lot easier to edit within this text editor over here. So we've got a forum activity over here for you to test as well. You'll notice for this one, it doesn't have an add topic, but I can reply to the main post. So yeah, I can reply to this initial forum post. And then here I can then type in my message that I want to send to the, let me just cancel this one quickly. Just reply to this one. So once you open it and you type in your message, this is what they call an online text editor. So get familiar with this. You will use this in a lot of online tools, activities that you might be using. So this is basically almost like Microsoft Word. So if I type, for instance, here's a heading, and then I've got a paragraph over here. I can easily style it, for instance, to make this a heading large, and this one, for instance, just to keep it as normal paragraph, for instance. You can also insert pictures. You can even record your voice or add videos as well. Just remember, there is the size limit to this is usually about 20 megabytes, so you can't upload big files onto here. Rather link it to an outside source. And then if you click on the drop down, you can have additional formatting, such as, for instance, doing alignments and even calculations if you're doing a module where you do have to do calculations as well. So that is basically the forums tool. I'm just going to take you back to the main page. So please work through all these lessons from 1 to 17. Complete the activities, because then you know you basically covered everything. On the wrap up, as I mentioned, there is just a post-course assessment. Please complete that as well, so that we do know exactly how you have grown within doing these activities. Now, also, if you want to download the MyModules app on your mobile device, there is a link and a setup guide as well. We've got all the student guides. Say you've got limited data, you can always come here to the guides and download all of these guides to your computer, so you can read them offline as well. And then all the webinar recordings are added onto this tile over here. So if you perhaps want to refresh on one that we have already, just come here to webinar recordings, and it will take you, you can just watch the latest video. And there's also all the quick video tutorials that you saw during this page. All of them are listed on here as well, so you can quickly watch the ones that are relevant to you. And they are generally just 3 or 4 minutes long. And then lastly, there's also a podcast. You know, for instance, if you're going to do, for instance, a portfolio assessment, please listen to this podcast that gives you good guidance on how to structure your document and how do you approach a portfolio type of assessment. Okay, so that's the end of our demo. So I just want to make you aware of the MyModules app. So there is a MyUnisa MyModules app. The link is in the on that My Guides. But please note, do not download the Moodle app. It is UNISA MyModules app. There is another app that will work with it with some setup. It's the Moodle app, but the official app is the UNISA MyModules app. And you can download this on Android and iOS devices. So for the next section, I will just hand over to David. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you so much, Richard. Students, I see that you are typing, that you are still following, and I believe you are now empowered to say how do you navigate this platform when submitting your assessments. Before we get into my exam, can we just check if there's any questions regarding MyModules? Because once you miss it on MyModules, it means you are not going to be prepared for your exams. You need to start with MyModules, be able to get the relevant content, submit your assessments. Last year, I've seen majority of students not qualifying to write exams simply because some of them missed some of the assessments, and some of them didn't really read the tutorial letters to see what are the requirements for them to qualify for exam. Remember, modules differ. In other modules, you just submit one assessment and then you'll qualify for exams. In other modules, you are supposed to get a certain percentage in your assessments, your formative assessments, for you to qualify. And in other modules, they combine. If you have maybe 3 formative assessments or 2, they combine the marks and take a percentage, either 20% or 40%. So you need to understand those, but for you to understand, you need to read your tutorial letters, which you'll get under additional resources once you've logged on into MyModules. So now I'm giving over to David, and I believe some of you who are joining us for the first time, it's not only going to be today that you are joining us. Please join us again so that you make sure you understand and you follow every step of the way. David, over to you.
All right, thanks, colleagues. Yep, let's continue with the training. All right, so let's quickly go back to 2 steps. Okay, so my exams, Richard did touch on it. So what will happen is students, now this is very early in the year to be talking about my exams, but we want to be able to show you where the resources are. So a little bit later in the semester, when you on top of your studies and you've got a bit of time, then we do suggest you start engaging with the My Exam guides just to see how does UNISA work and what information is sitting there. Okay, so how do we get to the guide? Well, we do have an address here for you, or you can use the QR code. So either way, it's also fine. But I just want to show you guys. Let me quickly share. I just want to make sure I've got the right share happening. I just want to show you guys at which point do you guys actually get to this point. So now within your My Modules, so just going to go back 1 step. Okay, so the one that Richard demoed for you, when you go through the lessons, you get to, I think it's number 16. Yes, there it is. And it says, how do you access My Exams? So you'll click on it. It'll open the page. You can scroll down. It starts explaining to you the 2 different types of exams that we're offering. And then there's a nice little button right over here that you can click. But before I click on it, I just want to show you the steps. So if you use the link, it'll ask you to type in your details. That's just your MyUnisa details, the MyUnisa password. You'll click on the Enroll Me button. So exactly the same steps that you will follow for this course that you registered already. And then you'll do it again, but this time it'll be for My Exams. So once I click on it, now obviously I've already joined the site, so it's going to take me straight through. Okay, and then again, it says welcome, so just read what's to be expected. And again, very similar. You're going to start with your orientation and you're going to work through all the different elements. So please don't skip any of them, especially things like integrity. Why is it so important? There's a beautiful video in here and the colleague explains to you exactly why UNISA is doing what it's doing. Okay, there you can see the video. Now, of course, as I said, it's very early in the year. So when you get to these elements, for example, you will notice, again, uploading your profile photo. Yes, it has to be done for your exams, guys. So get it out the way. Do it this week, then it's done. What type of tool am I going to use? I just want to show you how it looks. So if you click on this link, and then you type in, let's say I'm just going to type in the 4 last word numbers, and I just want to give you examples. Then I can say if I'm doing this module, this is the type of assessment, this is the tool that I need to use. If I'm doing maths, I'm going to use Iris. So then it tells you what proctoring tools do you need to start preparing for. But just take note, especially with the Invigilator app, that's the app that you're going to download to your smartphone. It won't pick you up now because it's way too early in the semester, but closer to the exam period. Then you can start engaging and doing the demo. Okay, so if you do click on here, it will open the page and it'll explain to you how this little guy works. And we've got a beautiful video in here that explains the whole process. So for now, it's just good to know this is the information, this is the type of tools or proctoring apps I'm going to maybe need. You might not need them, depending. So it's a good resource just to keep in the back of your mind so that you don't have to start stressing once you're getting closer to the exam period, because a lot of this information you can just work through. And then once we get closer, we will again have training sessions. We will discuss these things, go through these things, try and help you where there are any problems. And then, of course, you'll do the demos and the mock exams and all that. So for now, colleagues, students, it's really just to say, OK, David, now I know that I can access my exam information. This is all the things I'm going to need to consider. There are recordings. There are, again, downloadable guides, again, podcasts, FAQs. So when you've got that time and you just want to say, I need to start getting ready for my exams, then this is where you come, all right? So, and then you can start working through the materials. So I note, as I said, it's very early in the semester, so don't panic, but just take note, once you've joined this main course, this chappy here, which deals with MyModules, then you'll know that lesson number 16 is going to start covering about the My exams. Okay, we do get a lot of students who have accessed these courses and they're really saying to us, oh, I want to do a demo for the Invigilator. And we're saying, no, guys, you're way too soon. Rather focus on your studies, do the assignments, get all that work done before you come and start playing here. But it's good for you to know this is where you're going to go once you've completed this first step. All right, and of course, there's all quick tutorials and podcasts as well. So it works very much same as the previous module, but this one's focusing now on my exams. So yep, so students, don't panic as of yet, but it's just good that you know where it is. All right, let me go back to my presentation. So yes, then the next thing is MyLife. Now, as Richard said in the beginning, this is your email address that you get from the university. So when you claim your login, what will happen is it takes about 48 hours and then they create a mailbox for you. But it could take a little bit longer, especially now in the beginning of the year when you've got 100,000 new students joining. Of course, yes, the processes will take a little bit longer. But yes, you must then join your MyLife. As I said, you must at least log into it, give it a few days, log in, check that it's working, because it's actually very important. And I'm going to explain why. So on UNISA's normal web page, MyUnisa page, you've got your student number and your MyUnisa password, and that takes you to MyModules and the MyUnisa side of things. There is a link at the bottom saying MyLife email that you can click on. That's then going to take you to the MyLife login. You can also use Google, do a quick Google search and type in Office 365 and it'll take you here as well. Doesn't matter, it's the same link. Type in your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. So that whole thing, you need to kind of remember it and use it. Now, only for MyLife do you type this in. For MyUnisa, you just type your student number, so don't confuse those two. Same password though. So you type in your detail, you say next. It shouldn't have any issues. It might ask you, do you need a work or school account option? Just select this one because this is the correct one with your license. And then it'll log you in, and there we go. Once you get in, most likely it is going to take you straight to Outlook. All right, and if you click on the little top left-hand corner there, it's called waffle icon. you can actually see a whole bunch of applications which I'm going to speak about. So you might see people talking about Office 365, even Google still refers to it as Office 365, but actually it's called now Microsoft 365. So it's exactly the same thing, guys. Right, so what is Microsoft 365? Well, basically as a student, as long as you are a student, you have access to all these apps for free, okay? There are online apps and you can install them on your devices. You get one license. So you get one license, but you can install it on 5 different devices. So you can put it on your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, your smartphone, and then you still got one instance that you can use, and then you go to mom and dad and maybe install it there. And it's fine, it can work that way, it's not a problem. The only problem is, guys, you have one license, but 5 installs on 5 different devices, but it shares all the same information. So if you do share it with your buddy, he's going to be seeing your emails and your OneDrives and things like that. So just take note, there is a limitation to this. But if it's mom and dad and you just want to show them this cool stuff online, that's fine. I'm sure it's not a problem. They're not going to be playing in your emails. Well, that's what you hope anyway. Okay, then with Microsoft 365, you'll see there's a whole bunch of applications that they give you. And you can actually just go to Microsoft Learn. There is a course that we're currently running right now as we speak, and Richard's going to tell you a little bit more about it, where we're actually teaching you a lot of these tools to make your studying more effective. And we will share with you that in a few minutes' time. But ideally, as a student, these are your top 7 that you should definitely consider and make sure you understand. From your Outlook, your OneDrive, which is basically your USB, but it's in the cloud. So you can throw away that old USB now, so you don't have to lose it or get viruses on it. Or yes, so if you use OneDrive, guys, it's a USB in the cloud. Then, of course, Teams, what we're using today. Then it's OneNote, Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So pretty much all of these you probably would have heard of. And we're offering free training as we speak. And as I said, it's coming up, so hopefully you're getting excited about it. And we'll tell you how to join that training as well. And we're teaching you all these apps. Now, why is it so important, guys? Well, because A, it can make your life really, really easy. You can access your documents from anywhere. So if you have got it on your smartphone and you're traveling, you're not driving, I hope, but you can access on your smartphone and you can access your documents there and maybe do some assignments and type away. You know, it's there. It saves automatically for you. That's really cool. You can even collaborate with other students, you know, share a file and you can do it in real time. Your files are safe and secure. Well, as secure as your password. Please do not share your password for MyUnisa, MyLife with anybody. So if you have a girlfriend today, please don't share it with the girlfriend, because tomorrow you break up and now she's cross with you and then she comes and deletes all your stuff on MyUnisa and MyLife and goes crazy. It can happen, and it does happen, guys. Even if you're married, I don't say share this password, because today you're married, tomorrow you're divorced, same scenario. Okay, so please, between you and God, keep your password safe. We also use our classes and our workshops online, exactly what we're doing today. So this is why we are partnering with Microsoft, to give you guys so much more value add to your studies and going beyond studying. As I said, you can access it through office.com. That's also fine. You might just notice this picture does change every now and then. And whenever you're signing in specifically with MyLife or Office technologies, you always have to use your whole email address. Now, here's something you guys must be aware of. People out there are going to try and get your username and password. And how do they do this? They send an email to your MyLife and they say, ICT has this urgent upgrade, please click on this link. And when you click on the link, it says enter your email address and enter your password. You never type your password in. Wherever something will ask you, like a form saying type in your email and your password, because that there is suspicious already. That's how they get into your email account. Okay, UNISA will never, ever, ever ask you for your password, just like a bank will never ask you for your PIN. Same scenario. So always think twice and maybe email us just for us to check for you to make sure something's legit. But if it wants your password, trust me, it's not the real thing. It's a fake email and they just want to get into your account. The nice thing with Office is, guys, so when you click on the little waffle, you'll see there's Office or Microsoft 365. You click on it, it'll bring you to sort of a landing page. This is also where you can install Office from. Okay, remember I did say you can install on 5 different devices, and this is where you go to install. Okay, so you click on it and it will start installing. You will need data, so maybe go to campus, use UNISA's free Wi-Fi, and go and update all your things that you need to update. Use UNISA's Wi-Fi. That would be perfect. And of course, you can get it through your Play Store, your App Stores, and your Apple Stores, and all the other stores you can imagine. You can download the apps as well. Again, just to remind you, very importantly, with Microsoft 365, you can use any of the links, that's fine, but you must always use your MyLife to log in to access all your apps. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Richard, who's going to talk to you about that very exciting event that we're currently offering. It's already happening, and there's still more to come. So I'm just going to hand back to Richard quickly, so he's going to explain this to you and what's happening and how to get involved, and then you'll come back to me. Over to you, Richard.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Thank
So
you.
yes.
Thank you so much, David. Sorry, Richard, to interrupt. I just want to, before maybe you start a new presentation to them, to also check again if they are still following, especially that exam is the matter that sometimes it stands between you and your qualifications. So we need you to have an understanding on what to expect. Yes, we are going to have workshops for exams in the near future when the exams are nearby, but we just want to know that the information you found today, is it okay for you? Are you understanding it? You know what you need to prepare yourself for those exams. I just mentioned earlier that there is a possibility that you might not qualify for exam. And where are you going to see that? And when are you going to be aware of that? You are going to receive exam timetable closer to your exams. And on your exam timetable, it will show which subjects are you going to write at which dates. And there will be others that are saying you did not qualify. So you should take note of that and attend to it as soon as possible. Do not wait for when the exams are over. Yes, we are going to run sessions for exams. Please make sure that you attend. Over to you, Richard.
Hey, thank you, Sheila. So I just want to introduce to you, so there is currently a Microsoft 365 training happening in collaboration with Microsoft. Sorry, I just want to close here. And so these sessions are currently running in Gauteng. There's still 2 sessions that's going to be run this month. So from next week, you can join the Val Center, but you can join online. So you do not need to actually go to the venue. These sessions are online. And then after that, we're also going to have a live broadcast from Ekurhuleni. So please, if you can, come and join these sessions. There you will basically be guided from the beginning, digital citizenship, how to get started with Office 365, how to use these productivity tools, because a lot of these tools might be new to you, coming in from, into a university. But these tools are also very much used in business. So when you learn these skills, it not only helps you with, to make your studying a lot easier, but it also prepares you for the workplace. So I thought I'll just give you a quick video on what is Microsoft 365, so you can get a better idea of what it is. And we will share the link to the website where you can go register, and where we post the links to join these sessions.
With Microsoft 365, you get the newest version of Office 365, Windows 10, and best-in-class security. Microsoft Teams lets your team stay organized and have conversations all in one place. Office apps like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint help you and your team be creative and work together. Securely save your files in the cloud with OneDrive so you can get to them from anywhere. You can store any type of file, including images, spreadsheets, presentations, and more. Then share and work in real time with your coworkers, no matter if you're in the office or on the go. Keep organized and connected with the mobile apps on your devices. And stay productive from any browser with Office for the web. Work and collaborate from anywhere and on any device with Microsoft 365.
So we'll post a link in the chat. So if you're interested in, really getting the skills in Microsoft 365, please click on the link in the chat, or you can scan the QR code on here. On there, there's a registration form. Just complete the registration form and you will be sent the joining links for the remaining 2 weeks training. Now, I just also want to introduce to you this infographic that's available. I'll post a link in the chat. So, there's a lot of information covered today. You might get lost. What must I do first? What comes next? Maybe you just need like a good overview document. What are the paths that you need to follow? So we have created this infographic. And this infographic consists basically of steps that you need to follow. And so you can see it's basically, where do you start with your online studies? So each step has, exactly the term that's being used in a university, with a link to a short video clip. It's only about 4 minutes, introducing you to all these various topics. So you can really use this as a guide, work through it, and then you're all set up and are ready for your studies on MyModules. So for the next section, I'll just hand over to David for required devices. Thanks, Sheila.
Thanks, Richard. David, you can continue. I believe our students are still on track with us. Thank you.
All right. All right, thanks, colleagues. Okay, so let's continue. Required devices. Okay, so this comes up quite often, especially now where we've got smartphones and we've got contracts, and every now and then they expire and you get a new phone. I mean, we're all going through this almost all the time. I see Vodacom loves phoning me, even though I did upgrade already. Okay, so a couple of things you must consider when you're getting a new device, because let's face it, most students, a big percentage of students are using smartphones to do their studies, and you might be one of them. So what are the things that you need to consider? Well, most phones not older than 5 years, so if you get a new phone, that shouldn't be a problem. The reason being, after 5 years, the technology starts to fade away fairly quickly. So then it might not work with certain apps and applications and things like that. So that's pretty much a rule of thumb. Your operating system, always keep it updated. That's why I say go to UNISA campus and take your laptop with you if you've got one, and do all the updates you can possibly imagine, so then at least you know your data won't be munched. So always keep your operating system up to date. Internet access is pretty much by default. Every new smartphone has internet access in some capacity. You must consider the hard drive space, the internal space of the device, because, for example, if you have to do the invigilating app, you might need to install it, which means then you need to find some space. And I know students love to take pictures and videos and all sorts of things. Of course, that eats up the space, eh? So yeah, just keep an eye on your space management. And then we also say to you, have a look at the camera, microphone, and the sound quality. So maybe go to the shops and go have a look and maybe ask them to do a demo and just check out the quality of these devices. Most smartphones are pretty much good technology-wise. So I would be very surprised if you come with a new phone that has poor any of these nowadays. I mean, some phones have got so many cameras, I don't even know what we're meant to do with them. I mean, one camera is fine, they've got like 6, no idea. But yeah, and then microphone and sound. So consider these when you get a new device. Now, as I said, if you've got a laptop, that's great. Then you must just make sure at least it's Windows 10. Again, update it, come to campus. It must have internet. Most of them do have Wi-Fi, so that's not a problem. Install your Office, that's great. Make sure you use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge and make sure they're updated. So again, yes, that's important. Your camera, your webcam, you will need it. So take note, your microphone, not the headset one, just a normal microphone. They're quite cheap. You can buy them pretty much at any computer shop. And of course, sound and Wi-Fi if you need to connect. Now, if you haven't budgeted for getting a new laptop or a laptop, then you might have a desktop. Now, what do you need with a desktop? Well, if you get a webcam, I mean, that can help definitely with a microphone, so that will solve that problem. You would maybe get a Wi-Fi extender or one of those MTN or Vodacom or Cell C or Telkom. They do provide you some sort of internet type of device that you can plug into your desktop directly, that you can then get it onto the internet. And if you can do that, then you don't have to buy a new laptop. I mean, you just convert your desktop and make it a little bit more flexible. And of course, yes, when you've got internet, then everything must be updated. So that's also an idea, students, so that you can stick to the budget and yeah, make it a bit easier. I am going to continue this section as well. So I'm going to just go into some of the training, social media, and the regional support services. So with UNISA, we've got two sort of approaches that we are taking. We call it a blended approach for now. The virtual approach, which is exactly what we're doing today. And then, of course, we've got face-to-face. Now, as Richard mentioned, the training that's currently happening with Microsoft and GIGIMA, it's virtual and face-to-face. So we've actually got people doing the training, but I think the face-to-face is fully booked already. So, and yes, we are still going to move to the rest of the country as well. So we only started now in Gauteng. So yeah, we will be moving around. So these are the two sort of elements that you must take note of, that this is how we do things. So the campuses are open and you can go use those facilities. And as I said, there is free Wi-Fi as well. But I'm going to hand back to Richard to show you something that is really, really cool that we've launched this year that you guys can access free. It's 100% free. And I'm going to let Richard explain to you exactly what is this course that I'm showing you in digital literacy. Back to you, Richard.
Please share my screen here. It's taking a bit long. Yeah, great. So you were introduced now to MyModules, all these online platforms, but maybe you might just want to brush up on your digital literacy, really getting started from the basics, just to know that you've got all your fundamentals in place before you tackle one of these more complicated courses. We actually created a basic skills in digital literacy. This course is gamified, so it's very easy to do, very interactive, and you will learn quite a lot of skills by completing this course online. So the link will be shared, or you can write down the URL that's on the page or scan the QR code to access this basic skills in digital literacy. So I'm just going to quickly play you a video just as an introduction, just to show you exactly what you will learn and how you will learn the various technologies. Okay, so I think, yeah, my audio will go through now. So I'm just going to play this video quickly for you. Welcome to the gamified massive open online course on basic skills in digital literacy. You will be guided through 5 lessons that will teach you important topics. So come and join us on our journey as we are introduced to new topics and learn new skills. Meet the characters that will guide you and that will ensure you understand all the topics. Level up and earn marulas for your health beer by completing all the resources and activities. Also compete with your fellow students on the rankings board. Complete various fun activities and games that will test your abilities to make sure you've gained the necessary skills. Complete lessons and earn badges that's themed after the ingredients you will need to make your health a marula beer. Complete the entire course to earn the badge of digital literacy. So let's get started. So as you can see, we'll learn basically all these terms: cloud computing, collaboration online. What does this all mean? So I really would recommend this if you want to go, for instance, do the Microsoft 365 courses, but you still want to just get the fundamental concepts of how everything works. Please go and have a look at this course. Now, I just want to show you on this course, if you open up the link, if you want to complete the activities, you will need to log in. So at the top right, you just click on the login button. You will get this option. Are you a registered UNISA student or UNISA staff member? Since you are a registered UNISA student, you select yes. You then use your MyUnisa email account to log in. So this will open up that Microsoft login page that you will get for your MyLife account. And since I'm already signed in, it just took me in directly. But now you can see at the top right, my credentials are showing. So this is how you will know that you are signed in, so you can then participate in the forum activities as well. So I'll hand over back to Sheila and David for regional services.
Thank you so much, Richard. Students, if you remember when we started, I introduced Mr. Rampe to say he's one of our regional official. Now I hand over to David to tell you about the regional services. You should know what services you are going to access there, and also the officials that you might find, as well as the areas where we get these regional services. Over to you, David.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I have unmuted myself. All right, great. All right, regional services. Now, you would have seen or heard me at least mention it a few times about free Wi-Fi on campus. There are other features and facilities available on campus as well. So what we're going to say, or what we suggest is, I'm going to share the link with you as well. Please join the My Support Hub. Okay, it's a website. There's no activities you need to do, but it has a lot of information about where is what is located and who you can contact in the regional service centers. So it's a lot of information. Things like computer access. All right, that's a big one. So, we've got load shedding, but, we've also got generators on campus. So even if there's load shedding, our computer labs stay operational. So that's pretty cool to know. And of course, there are people there called digital learning advisors who can help you with your problems that you're facing. They also do offer face-to-face training on different technologies, the basic skills of computing, right up to Microsoft Teams and Office 365 and all these different applications as well. They're there to help and support, so they can also help you with any technical challenges you're having with your laptop, and they are definitely, these guys are ICT pros and they know how this technologies work. So please jump on board and go and visit them. There's also regional support sites. So when you go to campus, ask them, please join me on your regional support site, which basically is used to tell you what's happening in your region, what events are happening. And it's a nice way just to be in touch with everything that's happening on campus. In our support hub, we do have a troubleshooting help that you can also quickly refer to if you've got a problem that you're trying to fix, some general things. But if you are struggling, as I said, rather go see the digital learning advisors. Those guys will definitely help you. Then across the country, we've got digital access centers. Now, these are basically internet cafes or internet businesses where you as a student can actually go to the venue free of charge and use the internet and their physical hardware that they've got available. No, there's no free printing, so unfortunately that you might need to pay for yourself, but the rest of it is available. So there is a link, I will share it in the chat as well. Maybe you're staying close to one of these centers instead of traveling all the way to a service center, which might be quite far from you. Maybe there's a digital access center that can help you. That's right in your neighborhood, which will be really great. And then at least you know you've got some internet connectivity. You don't have to worry then too much about data. But at least, yeah, that's one route of getting to services that you may need. All right, as I said, my support hub is a QR code. So you guys can maybe take a snap with your phone, or you can just write down the tiny URL, although I will paste this in the chat, so don't worry too much if you not scanning it. Then we've also got a FYE, a first year experience Telegram group. Now this group, guys, is not for you guys to now chat and share things online. This is a Telegram group where we post events that are happening face-to-face countrywide to you guys for your information. Okay, so you can't reply. I think the only thing you can do is thumbs up or thumbs down, but it's a nice way of just staying in touch with what's happening at the university. We've got already over 10,000 students who have joined this, and we get a lot of feedback from students saying this is brilliant because now they know what's happening and where it's happening. So again, you can join this group and it'll definitely help you if you're on Telegram. Very important, and I'm glad you're here today as well, even though it's a smaller group. Training, skills and knowledge that goes together. And as I've been saying to you, we've got computer labs, we've got staff ready and waiting to help you. There's a whole bunch of training that you can do, because at the end of the day, you have to have these skills. Like it or not, whatever business or job you get into, you are definitely going to need some ITC skills. So if you need some basic computer skills, let's say you've never really used a computer before, and that happens, guys, it's real, it happens. It is offered at the training center, so please go see them. There's also typing skills that you can learn if you do have good internet access. Here's a website here. There's a typing tutor that can really help you improve your typing skills. That's again, it's a skill that you can learn and you can put it on your CV. Office 365, the regions do offer it as well face-to-face. And as Richard alluded to earlier, there is a training that's currently happening, although now only for online students. And of course, you can also join us on the Saturdays. It's also online. Then we've also got digital literacy, that program that we just showed you with a lovely introduction video. It's really fun, it's engaging. So if you've got time, please go and access it and upgrade those skills, get a good understanding of digital literacy. For MyUnisa, MyModules and MyLife, pretty much all these three, what we've covered today, we are offering it online as well at the regions. So it's up to you, the ball's in your court, guys. If you need to get those skills and knowledge upgrades, all these resources are available to you. It's just a matter of you engaging us online or the colleagues on the ground. Now, if you're a new student, most of you are, there is a web orientation that you can quickly zip through, although it's a little bit late now in the semester, but you can go check it out. There's a QR code. I will share this as well. You can just quickly go and see all the things that you need to know, like the library and counseling and computer labs and digital access centers. It's all covered in our quick web orientation. You might have missed the initial orientations that were held in February. Maybe your registration was a bit late. Then you can just quickly go through this one. You'll get all the same information. Then we also do have a YouTube channel. So yes, for UNISA Student Support Services, there's the address. You please like and subscribe to it so that you can stay up to date with all the events that we host. We do share on the YouTube channel beyond training events of quite big magnitude, where a lot of important people come and present and talk to you about different elements that might be in your sphere of your studies. So it's really interesting to see. So please do join us. Like the orientation I referred to earlier, it's also there. So again, I will share this with you. Help and support, it's quite important. So when you have problems, how do you contact or where do you get help? We do have the SESC. Okay, these are the guys that deal with your queries, and I'm going to show you where to access the whole phone book for UNISA. So when you communicate with the university, please try to use your MyLife email account as much as possible, unless the problem is with MyLife. Okay, then I'll show you the email address that you can use. But generally, everything else, use MyLife. Please put in the subject line, put your student number. In the body of the email, you can put your contact details and then put as much detail as you can possibly put, or whatever your challenge may be. Print screens is great, you know, so that we can actually see exactly where you are, what exactly is the error. Then the colleagues can tell you what to do. Okay, this email address or the link thereof, I'm still going to show you. And there it is. So you can send an email to inquire@unisa.ac.za, or you can go on UNISA's webpage. There on the right-hand side, there's inquiries button. If you click on it, it'll bring you up every contact detail you can imagine for UNISA. If you're having problems with MyModules, okay, like maybe some of your modules you registered are not there, not reflecting, they haven't appeared yet for some odd reason, send an email to mymodule22@unisa.ac.za. Please use your MyLife email, and remember, in the subject, put your student number. That will definitely help you. Please complete this post-assessment survey before you leave the event today, so we can get some information from you, just to understand what is happening and what did you like about today's training. I just quickly want to zip over and show you what I was referring to with the big phone book of UNISA. So you go to UNISA's page, okay, go away. Thing likes popping up, and there it is over there. So there's your library, guys. Just take note of all the different options. So there is your regions. Okay, so if you're not sure which region you are in, you can click on it, and it basically tells you. Now, you might not know what Midlands is. Okay, so it's pretty much all those ones over there. So if I click on Midlands, let me go have a look. And then I say, okay, I'm not sure. Let me go to contact us. Oh, okay, it's Rustenburg, Bloemfontein, Potch, Kimberley, Kroonstad, Mafeking. All right, there we go. There's the email address. There's the contact number. There's the directions. So it's very easy to find where you are and what centers are close to you. So check them out under regional centers. Under inquiries, here we go. This is the one I was referring to. So there's the toll-free 0800 number. If you scroll down, you'll see there is some information from Inquire. That's the number again. There is MyUnisa help and MyLife help. So there they are. And then you can also scroll down. Now there's lots of contacts in here, guys, from assignment submissions to exam admin. And you'll see the very specific emails and contact numbers for these. Student financing, I know this always comes up a lot. There we go. College specific. So if you have something specific with your college, there are the specific emails that you can go and email. As I said to you, regional centers all over the country, and you can actually see all the contact here. For example, PE Computer Lab. If I want to know, book an appointment or come see the digital learning advisor, there's the email address, and I can then email him and then they will respond to you. So there's all the rest of the provinces and the regions as well. So yes, and of course the SCC themselves, and of course student assessment admin is a whole bunch of emails here. So really this phone book is important to you. It's one of the things that you must always do, but please do not email. For example, if you're having a problem with, like this one, examinations, don't go and email every single email address in one big email. Think about what the problem is and then only email that one specifically. And that's a rule of thumb, guys. So don't send emails to every single UNISA employee you can find on the system, because when we see that, most colleagues will probably not respond to the email and they might just ignore it because they see they're talking to, or you are wanting to speak to so many people. So they might not go through. Also, please use your MyLife always when communicating with these type of email addresses, because your Gmail, your Yahoos and whatnot, sometimes the firewall blocks them and we won't even see that you've emailed us. So always use MyLife. But remember, if you have problems with MyLife, here is the email address, but of course go to the closest region and they can also assist you over there. All right, so just to remind you guys, I just wanted to show you the My Support Hub. So if you join it, all right, there we go. It's going to open like this. So again, it's very similar feel to what the other ones are. And there's the menu of services I was referring to. So if you click on this one, it's going to download a little file. And once you've opened it, it's going to tell you these are the region we're in, which offices are available, what they offer. And you can see it's a lot of information. So you don't have any excuses now to say, I don't know what was offered. Also, digital learning, the training is in here and all sorts of information. So please do engage with this site. There's no activities you need to do. It's just for your information and it'll point you in the right direction, including the MyModules, what we've done today as well. All right, that's pretty much from me, Sheila and colleagues. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and I'm handing back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David and Richard. I believe our students really enjoyed the session and they got the information they were looking for. Students, we didn't get so many questions from you. That shows we have best presenters in the house. And I'm going to give just 2 minutes to have questions from you, any comments from you before we are going to close. Remember, when you need us to give you an opportunity to ask your question verbally, we are going to have a blast session. When you see the invitation for the blast session, make sure you attend. Let's get questions, comments from you students. I'm checking the charts at the moment to see if there are any questions, if there are any comments. We welcome comments as well, even if you are telling our presenters how good they were, that is also accepted. Please read the information in the Q&A about the links. Make sure you open those links and you put them as bookmarks on your browsers so that you access them easily all the time. Colleagues, can I just ask our colleagues who were in the background to maybe share anything they want to share with the students before we close? I see Dr. Gavenda, Menel, Jessica, I see Dr. Tsepe as well. Maybe let me start with Ndate Rambi, if there's anything especially related to the regional services that you want to share with the students. Thank you.
I think the least I can say to the students, there are enough computer labs. There's also support in the regions. Please don't be shy to go to the regional service centers. There are people we call DLAs who are digital learning assistants. If you have challenges and you can't resolve them and you have time to go to the center, these colleagues are there to assist you in any of the technical challenges you might have. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much, Ndate Rambe. Jessica?
I don't have too much to add to it. I find that this was a very comprehensive training session. I do see a question already coming up about whether the recordings will be made available. And yes, they are made available in the MyModules site itself. We do upload the recordings there for you to be able to recap, and you'll be able to then follow along with each of the lessons.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Richard, can you add the link? Thank you so much. I see you have added the link down there as well. May Gavenda?
Yeah, the training was actually a very comprehensive training, but I just want to say to the students that please do not feel overwhelmed that you've got to complete another course. This is to your benefit only. And learning in an online situation, learning through distance education may be a completely new experience to most of you. And, you know, we know exactly how you feel, overwhelmed, anxious, stressed. So please take advantage of all these support sessions that's being offered to you. And if you feel that you did not catch up with the presentations, the recordings are there. Please view the recordings from time to time, and you're going to feel so much more confident and competent in studying online. Okay.
Thank you so much, May Gavenda and Ndate Tsepe.
Thank you, Dr. Mphahlele, for this opportunity, and colleagues. We believe that whatever that we have given to the students will come beneficiary to the students, and I wish our students well, and they must go and practice on the sites that have been uploaded here. And blessed stay at UNISA. Welcome.
Thank you so much. In closing, I'm going to ask our presenters to open their cameras and wave goodbye to our students.
Bye, everyone.
Richard and David.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you in the next session.
Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest
Bye-bye.
of the day and the rest of your studies. Bye-bye.
Bye.